students, so we're going to do a few questions on logarithms so that we get a better picture of how they went. So given that log 5 is 10 is 0.699, evaluate log 125. So given that log, given that log is 10 is equals to 0.699. You have to evaluate log base 10 of 125. So when you look at this question, the first thing that you have to do is you have to express this similar to log 5. So what's the relationship between 5 and 125? So 5 times 5 is 25. This, if you multiply by 5, that's 125. So 5 cubed is 125. So you can say log base 10 is 5 to the power 5 is 5 cubed. Remember the law of logarithms, which states that log base a x to the power y is equal to y log base a x. So this being our y, and this being our x, and this being our base, we say bring down 3 here. So 3 log is 10 5. So we already know this part which is given like this. So we substitute 3 multiplied by 0.699. Multiply this 0.699 multiplied by 3. 3 times 9, 27, 2, 8, 9, 2, 18, 19, 20. So you get your answer is 2.97. So that's how you solve this problem. That's how you solve that problem. So let's solve the next one. Solve the next one. Log 50. So let's solve log 50 is 10. So what's the relationship between 50 and 10? I think it's 5 times 10. So let's express log base 10 of 5 times 10. We already know that the log of 10 base 10 is, what is the log of 10 base 10? That's 1. So we're going to say log 5 plus log base 10 of 10. Remember the law of logarithms, x, y. If there is a multiplication here, this comes down to log x plus log y. So I've used this law here to express this as that. We know what log 5 is. Log 5 is given by this, which is 0.699, and log 10 base 10, you know what it is? It's 1. So answer is 1.699. That will be our answer, 1.699. So let's evaluate 0.5. So you have to make sure that you remember these laws of logarithms in order to evaluate these questions. So you have log base 10 of 0.5. I always tell my students that whenever you see a decimal, it is best to express it as a fraction. It is better to express a decimal as a fraction. So we say 5 over 10. So we know what 5 over 10 is. We use quotient rule. Do not reduce this, because if you reduce this to half, you don't know the log of 2 and you know the log of 1. It will be difficult. But if you leave it as here, you have the log of 5, which is here, and you know the log of 10. So This is log base 10 5 over quotient rule log of x over y. Numerator first, x minus log y is a, is a, is a. So I'm going to use the quotient rule here. Log 5 minus log base 10 of 10. We already know what log 10 is. This is 1. We already know what this is. 0 0.699 minus 1. So 1.00 minus 0.699. 1 here, that gives you 10. So 1 here, 0. And this comes 7, 3, 1. So you have 0.301 is your answer. So let's move on to question 2. Let's move on to question 2. Find the value of that expression. So you have log base 3 of 27 plus log base 3 of 1 over 3. So you have to find value of this expression. What's the difference between an expression and an equation? An equation is an equal sign, and an expression does not have an equal sign. So let's try and calculate 27. 3 times 3, that's 9, times 3, that's 27. So I can express 3 cubed. So that's log base 3 of 3 cubed plus quotient rule. Remember quotient rule, log base a of x over y. That's log x minus log y. So numerator minus denominator. So that's going to be plus log base 3 of 1, log base 3 of 1 minus log base 3 of 3. So let's evaluate further. Remember the power rule. The power rule states that it brings down this power to y x. I'm going to apply it here. So you have 3 log 3 plus log 3 1 minus log 3 3. So what is, remember that log base of the base is equals to 1. Log base of the base is equals to 1, and that log any base is 0. So let's apply these two rules here. And here's 3, 1, here plus 0 minus 1. So this is going to be 3 minus 1, which is going to give us 2. That's the answer. So we have evaluated this one. We have evaluated that one. Let's move to number 4. Let's move to number 4. So number 4. Alright. So we have simplified log 8 minus log 9 and log 64 minus log 81. 8 and 64 have a relationship. This is the square, this is the square of 8, and this is the square of 9. So let's express that as log 8 minus log 9 all over log 9 squared minus log This is log 8 squared. 8 squared minus 9 squared. So let's bring down the powers. Log 8 minus log 9 over 2 log 8 minus 2 log 9. Let's remove the 2 from here and here, bracket. So 8 minus log 9 all over 2 log 8 minus log 9. So we have log 8 minus log 9 here, 8 minus log 9, and our answer becomes half. That is our answer. So we have managed to evaluate this. Let's move on to number 5. Let's move on to number 5. So the fifth question says that express this logarithm as an equation. So log base 10 of x plus 2 log base 10 y is equals to 1. Using the laws of logarithms, we say we move this power back to the top, then we use the product rule. So we are going to have firstly log base 10 of x plus log y base 10 squared. Using the product rule, we join log base 10 x multiplied by y squared is equals to 1. So this base 10 is going to go here. So we're going to have xy squared is equals to 10 to the power 1. So this is now an equation from the logarithm. So let's move on to number 6. Let's move on to number 6. Show that 2 log 5 3x plus 2 minus log base 5 2 is equals to 1 can reduce to minus 2. So we want to prove that this can reduce to this. So you have to show your working. So we have subtraction here. So we have product. We have quotient rule. So let's move this one to here. Then we use quotient rule. So log base 5 3x plus 2 squared minus log 5 of 2 is equals to 0. So now let's use quotient rule here. Quotient rule, log base 5 3x plus 2 squared over 2 is equals to 1. So put the base here. So now I have so the logarithm is removed. Now I have 3x plus 2 squared is equals to 5 to the power 1. And now I have this equation. So you now have this equation. So let's multiply both sides by 2. 2, these 2 cancel out. So you expand the bracket. 3x plus 2. 3x plus 2 is equals to 10. 3x plus 2, 3x plus 2 is equals to 10. 3 multiplied by 3, that's 9x squared plus 6x multiplied by 2, that's 2 multiplied by that, plus 6x plus 4 is equals to 10. So you have 9x squared plus 12x plus 4 is equals to 10. So here you move 4 to this side, or move 10 to this side. You have 9x cubed plus 12x. 10 moves to this side. That's going to be minus 6 plus 4, which is going to minus 10 plus 4, which is going to be minus 6. Is equals to 0. We divide the whole expression by 3. Divide by 3. So here, 3, 6, 2. So our answer comes is 3x squared plus 6x minus 2 is equals to 0, which is similar to this one. So we have proved that this can result to this if it's reduced. So